Alright, so I wish you all a very warm welcome from Spain. I hope the weather is as good as we are having it right now. My name is Bernhard Niesner and I'm one of the co-founders of Boozoo.com. So first of all, before we get into details, I would just like to give you a short overview about our company. So basically Boozoo.com is a language learning community and we combine individual learning with community learning. This means that in the individual part, we offer currently more than 150 different learning units based on several topics, which come from in the restaurant to how to apply for a job. And the whole content is based on pictures and supported by the voices of professional voice artists. The material at the moment is available in English, Spanish, French and German, and we are currently developing as well new material. So we have developed the content completely in-house and without the help of our community so far. In the part of the community learning, you actually can directly interact with other students of our community. So a Spanish guy, for example, can practice his English skills with somebody from the UK within an integrated video chat application, and you can as well post writing exercises which are directly corrected by the community. So therefore, we have the second part, which is the community learning. The community we launched in May last year, and it currently has more than 150,000 users from all over the world, so it grew quite significantly. And our users basically are between 16 and 80 years old, with quite some very active users around the 60s and 70s who really enjoy our website as well, which was quite surprising when we initially thought to set up a Web 2.0 website, that suddenly a lot of already retired people enjoy our website, and I think that's a great experience as well. In terms of gender, it's quite balanced, and most of the people actually learn English. Obviously, 47% of our community. Spanish is the second most required language. Then people learn French and then German. So to come to the question about the community, I wanted to tackle this issue by asking myself actually whether a community is more than simple clients, like we come, let's say, from a non-IT background. I would definitely say so. Why? Because community actually want to participate in the production of the product, whereas a client is just more or less consuming the product. So we have this famous word of the prosumer, which is basically a mixture between the producer and the consumer. Second, the community obviously not always pays. Most of the people of our community don't pay for our content, but still they demand high quality and a very good and excellent customer service. And third, the community interacts not only with the company, which is the case of the client, which normally has a one-to-one relationship with the company, but they want to interact as well with other people of the community, which then leads to a complete different dynamic within such a website. So the importance is to channel this energy and to create, let's say, a community where you then turn your people into clients, which at the end, the ultimate goal is to make them ambassadors who then really actively promote your website and are fans of your website and recommend it to others. So how actually do you manage a community? Well, in our case, what we try to do is to make the community rules very clear from the beginning. I think that's very important, and this is done, from my experience, on a very clear interface. If you log on to a community, you have to get it very clear right from the beginning what kind of feeling is at that community. How do people behave? So Boozoo.com, I don't know whether you have logged on already, it's a very playful and colorful community and a very friendly community, and this immediately has a very strong impact on the people's behavior. So we have very little trolls or people who just disturb. Basically people are just helping each other, and I think it's made as well by the fact that the community, from its interface and from its design, looks very friendly. The second point is that we really ask our community to actively participate in in the production of it. I mean, Buzoo.com 1 year ago it was completely a different product like it is right now. In the beta phase, we used all the community feedback in order to improve our website, and we still do. Every day we get between 50 and 100 emails, and we really try to answer each of them at least within 48 hours. So you can imagine it's quite a task and takes quite some resources, but it's very important, and we have implemented a lot of new functionalities just by the help of our community. The third point is that we try to use our community as well to enforce the law of the community. So we have some abuse moderation in place, and it's really interesting to see if somebody, there are always, I mean, with 150,000 people, obviously there are always somebody who doesn't behave that well. And it's very interesting if those people post something which is not adequate, immediately people from the community tell him not to do that, report the abuse, or directly contact him. And that's actually quite interesting, that if there is a nice peer pressure in a positive way and a nice atmosphere among the community, people behave, and I think that's how we are able to manage our community. Regarding crowdsourcing, I mean, for me this is a little bit this question whether the collective intelligence is bigger than individual intelligence. And although crowdsourcing is such a modern and fashionable word right now, I would say it's not always the case, because I think we have to take into consideration very specific characteristics of the language learning industry, which is that basically individual users like me, for example, without any training in language education, coming from a different background, I don't have the knowledge to teach other users German, for example. I can practice German with other people, but I'm not able to explain certain grammar rules. Additionally, and all the teachers hopefully agree, is that the individual learning motivation does not necessarily correspond to the required effort. If the teacher will just say to the class that you set your goals by yourself and you make your schedule by yourself, the learning outcome, from my point of view, definitely wouldn't be the same as if the teacher is behind it and keeps track on the learning progress. So that's why, additionally, I think that users, which is very important for us as being a young startup and having to finance our operations at the end, that users are not prepared to pay for unprofessional content. It's already difficult to convince users to pay for high quality content, but I'm definitely convinced that nobody would pay for content which is not professionally prepared. So that's why I think that crowdsourcing, well, can only be used in very specific areas. And we from Buzoo.com, we made our choice quite clear. We developed the high quality learning material completely by ourselves, in-house with experts we have here on board. We have the community learning just as a choice within the learning process, but we don't enforce it. If people want to learn by themselves and don't want to participate in the community, they don't have to. It's just a choice for them. And finally, the community functions, the things developed, the help you can get from the community is completely free of charge. We don't charge anything for that. So there's always a but, obviously, in each argument, and I would say we made our choice, but we still currently have made an experience with crowdsourcing for the development of new functionalities and new languages. So at the moment we have started with a new functionality where people can actually translate our learning material. And what Kirsten was saying at the beginning, and that's exactly what we are doing right now, we just use it for a translation, but the question really is whether in translated vocabulary you need a lot of creativity. I would rather say that within the translation you need just accuracy and you need high quality. So we see that people actually enjoy very much of translating our content if it's made in a very easy and intuitive interface. We see as well that we have to keep in place certain peer voting system where there the collective intelligence is kind of correcting, self-correcting the translation which is done by our native translators. And We are as well using crowdsourcing, or will use crowdsourcing for some new functionalities. But given the fact that a lot of people from the community and from the industry are right here online, I'm unfortunately not able to tell more about it unless it's out of the box, which will be quite soon. So I definitely think that my ultimate conclusion would be that yes, we can use crowdsourcing in our industry, but it has to be in the right place, and it should be made with very strong control. So yeah, thanks a lot for your attention, and I'm happy to discuss any questions right now or after the panel discussion.